Hey YouTube! Okay, this will probably be the last video of the night if the boyfriend comes home on time. If he works over, I might do maybe one more. This is the 7 Witchy Questions tag. I got it from, oh my goodness, I can't remember her name, but I will post her, I am so sorry, I'm blanking out right now. I will post her link in the description bar. Honey, I am so sorry. But she originally got it from Ember, HoneyRaven, and I'll post that link in the description bar as well. So, 7 witchy questions. Let's get this ball rolling. Number 1, biggest disaster spell-wise. I have had spells that just plain didn't work because I either, 1, didn't focus the energy the way that I should have, 2, just plain didn't know what the fuck I was doing, or 3, I was doing spells for shit that I just did not need in my life at that time. Because that will happen. I believe that happens. If there is something that you want that isn't good for you, sometimes you'll get it and you'll have to deal with the consequences, and sometimes the universe will be kind to you and your spell just won't work. But as far as, if I have to think of a disaster, that would be Samhain 2000, oh goodness. Hold on, let me think. We lived on York Street, so probably 2004, I want to say. Okay, so every year for Samhain, I burn all of my candles for the directions and my spirit candle down. And then I get new ones to start off the new year because I see Samhain as my spiritual new year, and then New Year, the new year for our calendar is like my physical new year. So I do the whole New Year's thing twice. But I'm going to show y'all the products of that particular Samhain. My directional candle for fire was in my little cauldron, and normally that wasn't a problem. I had done it every year since like 1999. No problems whatsoever. I had the candle sitting directly in the cauldron. You know, it's fine. The motherfucker caught on fire. See the legs on this? There used to be 4, and they used to sit straight instead of being turned up. This cauldron also used to be a silver color. I caught the bitch on fire. I left the room. I know you're not supposed to leave candles unattended, but yes, sometimes I do it. I went downstairs and I went outside because we lived near a graveyard, and I used to walk through the graveyard every Samhain just for shits and giggles, just to amuse my family. And I come back, and my bedroom was upstairs facing the road, and I see this, you know, flame, and I'm like, oh motherfuck. So I run up the fucking stairs, and my candle is on fire, and it is burning my cauldron down, and my cauldron has melted to my altar cloth and to my coffee table I was using as my altar. Oh, it was a fucking hot mess. Moral of the story, don't leave your shit unattended, and watch your fire candle if you're gonna burn that bitch down. So that was my big disaster. Could have been a huge disaster. I could have burnt the fucking house down. Lesson learned. Something you wish someone had told you when you were a new witch. That is such a good question, and it's such a question that makes you fucking think. It really does. It makes you go back in your brain. Let's see. I wish, there are 2 things I wish somebody would have told me when I was first starting out. 1, don't take everything so fucking seriously. I have a bad habit of doing this in general. Comes along with being type A personality. I'm a fucking perfectionist. I can't help it. I don't expect that out of other people at all. I never have. I don't hold other people to that standard. Just myself. I will beat myself up to no end if I think I've done something incorrectly or wrong or whatever. And starting out in the craft, I was no different. Everything had to be perfect. There was no room for mistakes, let alone laughing at those mistakes in my practice. About 3 years into it, I fucked up something during a ritual. And I just started laughing. And it felt so good, and it helped me to raise energy, and it just lightened everything. Like, it was great. And that was the moment that I kind of learned that, yes, there is a time for mirth and a time for reverence and practice. There really is. And you don't have to take everything so fucking seriously. The other thing I wish somebody had told me was that, you know, and I probably, most likely, Maya probably tried to tell me this, and I just didn't listen, because I paid a lot of attention to some shit she said, and then other shit I really didn't pay as much attention as I should have. I mean, Maya, it's not your fault. I'm just a bad student sometimes. But I wish I had known that, Susie, I'm not playing right now, and what the hell is that? The string? Oh god, just give me string. Look at this shit. This is what he has in his mouth. He's been chewing on his rope. Go chew the rope. You're not going to eat the string. That'll make you sick. See what I mean? He is a camera whore. Ow! No. Here, get up here. Get up here. Okay, now lay down. Zeus Michael. Oh goodness. Anyway, I wish somebody had told me that books will take you very far in some aspects, but you still have to learn cycles and learn how to go with those cycles and learn how to work with the ebb and the flow of life, and you have to learn from nature and watch nature and learn the secrets that nature holds that you can only learn from nature, because that's where your epiphanies lie. You can get them from books, I'm not saying that, but you can also get a lot of epiphanies from observing nature, from observing life, from just observing. And I wish I would have done more of that in the early years, but I learned to do it, you know, later on. It took a minute. Number 3, what is your biggest witchy pet peeve? Oh my biggest witchy pet peeve revolves around people who get into witchcraft as a fucking power trip, and then they want to lay that power trip on other people. I can't stand it. I won't tolerate it. I will not make room in my life for those kind of people. I have personally known people like that who were only into witchcraft because they wanted to hurt people. Like, there was no other reason for it. Yet they claimed to be part of the spiritual side and to be Wiccan, when in all honesty, all they did was bad magic against people. And magic to hurt others to get what they wanted. And that translated into the way that they carried themselves and the way that they carried themselves with other people. They would make themselves out to be teachers, when in all actuality what they wanted was a fucking following that followed them and listened to them and did what they told them to do. I don't have room in my life for that shit. I think it gives the craft a bad image, and I think that it brings the craft down. I mean, there are people who go through periods where life has fucked them over, and they may go through a period where they use magic to hurt people, and then they come out of that. That's one thing. That's not getting into it specifically for the power trip. I just can't tolerate it. That's the one thing I'll get on a high horse about, and I will sound like a total bitch, and I just can't help it. Later on, when I rewatch this video and I see that face I just make, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Number 4, when did you first know there was something different about your spirituality? When did you first know you were a witch? I first knew that I wasn't Christian as a small child. That the Christian way that was being, put to me as the only way did not fucking make sense to me. I have always had an analytic mind. I overthink shit and I analyze to death shit. And if something doesn't make sense or add up to me, I have always been the kind of person that I just won't fuck with it. This is a perfectly good example. I got on Wikipedia one time when I was writing Castles Made of Sand because I had never heard of it before and I knew nothing about the website. I was trying to read something maybe about Abby Hoffman, I don't remember, something pertaining to the 60s. I found one incorrect fact and I have never, not one time, used Wikipedia since then. That is how I've always been. And there was just a lot of shit that didn't make sense. Not only that, it was not a religion that was open to somebody like me. It wasn't open to somebody who knew I had had other lives, or somebody who could hear dead people. If anything, it made me feel even more alone, and even more like a freak or an outsider. So I knew that that wasn't the path for me very early on. I didn't know I was a witch until I read Scott Cunningham's book. See, I think it's Solitary Witch. There's Living Wicca, I believe, and Solitary Witch, and I read them both around the same time, but I read the one that came out first. So whichever one came out first, because I don't remember now which it was, that was the first book that I read. And as I was reading it, every single thing in it resonated with me, and that was when I knew I was a witch. So I was 11 when that happened. Number 5. And this is, y'all are going to be like really key, but yeah. What is the best witchy book you've ever read? I cannot do a number one best, number one favorite of anything. I have sublists, so bear with me for this. I broke out the books. Oh yeah, I did. It's just a regular show and tell type of video, isn't it? Cauldron, books, whole 9 years. Okay. For somebody who is just starting out, or as a general reference book, I know some of you may not like Silver Raven Wolf. I absolutely fucking love her. So if you don't like it, just ignore it. This right here, this book has everything that you need to know. If you're just starting out, I wish she would have come out with this a few years earlier than she did. I mean, the Scott Cunningham book was awesome, but it didn't have all of the stuff that this had in it. If you're just starting out, or if you want just a reference book that has a little bit of everything in it, this right here is the best book, in my opinion. If you want to learn more about like quantum physics and alchemy and that sort of thing, again, Silver Raven Wolf. Sorry, I love her. These two books right here, Mind Light and A Witch's Notebook, they will put quantum physics to you in a way that makes perfect sense. Silver's so fucking good at that. And she will teach you to, if you can wrap your mind, because there's still aspects of it, I believe it because it's Silver and she's never, told me anything that didn't work out for me. But there are some aspects of the stuff she has in here that I can't personally wrap my mind around yet, but I'm still working on it. But if you can wrap your mind around this stuff, you can push yourself beyond what you ever imagined possible. If you're looking for, like, Will of the Year season type stuff, this book right here, Seasons of Witchery by Ellen Dugan. And y'all are going to laugh your asses off when you see this hot mess. This was, oh my gosh, I can't even remember the title. Hold on a second. The Sabbaths, A New Way to Living the Old Ways by Dane McCoy. I actually got it like this. I did. It was all torn up when I got it. I got it for free because of that. I have kept all of the pages together. I used to keep a hair tie around it to keep it all together, but I was copying stuff out of it because over the past couple years I've been adding more stuff to my sections about the Sabbaths, and I use that a lot as a reference book for that. But yeah, those two books are absolutely great for additional information about the Sabbaths beyond, the little bit of information you get in many how-to books. So those are awesome for me. And they are the best that I've read in the categories that I stuck them in. Number 6, the best witchy TV show or movie you've ever seen. Well, I really loved, like Ember HoneyRaven said, American Horror Story Coven. I really enjoyed that. I also am one of those people who will sit and watch Bewitched and absolutely love it because Aurora is the shit. Oh my god, I fucking love her. Samantha gets on my fucking nerves. She just does. This bitch has powers I wish to hell I had. And she's just all like, oh my god, what if Darren finds out? No, bruh. No. But, but I love her mother, and I love her uncle. I can't remember his name right now, but he's the shit too. So, yeah. Coven and Bewitched are my two favorite witchy shows. Movies. I cannot do one favorite. I just can't fucking do it. I'm incapable of it. What can I say? Every year for the spring equinox for Ostera, I watch Practical Magic. I fucking love that movie for some reason. I think I watched it, the first time I watched it was my first spring equinox as a witch. So that's why I associate it with that, but I watch it every year at that time. Another one of my favorites, which I watch every year at Beltane, is The Mist of Avalon. And The Craft. I love The Craft. Why do I feel like there's one more and I'm fucking missing it? Oh, Witches of Eastwick. That has no basis in truth whatsoever. The book fucking sucked. If people say that John Updike is an excellent author, I don't know where they get that from. I mean, I'm all for people having varying opinions, but to me, that book was terrible. But the movie, I absolutely love it. I mean, it has Cher as a witch. Like, come on, you don't get much better than that, right? So, yeah, those are my 4 favorites, because I can't have one favorite, because I'm just, what can I say? And last but not least, number 7. Have you ever doubted your path or your craft, and if so, what did you do about it? I have never doubted my path, or that I was meant to be a witch, or that I was meant to do this. I have doubted the way that the universe works. At some of my lowest points, I have done the whole this doesn't fucking make any sense, you know, I'm a good person, why does this shit happen to me, self-pity kind of thing. I have yelled at my goddesses, I have yelled at the universe, I've done that sort of shit, which by the way gets you nowhere. I don't advise it. Well, I can't say that, because a lot of the times Athena anyway is pretty understanding, but sometimes she gets pissed off right back, and I don't even blame her, because when I do that, I personally doing that am just being childish as shit. But no, I've never doubted that I was meant to be on this path. I have known many amazing witches who have gone through periods of doubt. I don't see it as, you know, oh, well, you're lesser witch than, you know, I am because you went through it and I didn't. No, I don't see that at all. I have seen a witch who has been a witch for many, many years, who is amazing and absolutely is just, she's amazing, who went through something like that. So I don't, you know, I don't count out the possibility that it will happen in my lifetime at some point. And I hope that I have the grace and the strength to handle it the way that the witch I was just talking about did. And, yeah, so that's the 7 witchy questions tag. I tag anybody out there who wants to do it. Thank you to those who have done it, that I have seen your videos and was able to do this, because it was a really fun tag and I enjoyed it. And as I said before, I will put the links to both videos in the description bar. I hope you all have a beautiful week, and I hope you all remember to smile.